I want to dive right into McGill's skate ranch. Could you take us back? Because I still trip on that. I look at that era in skating as where you guys, you amongst other people that were there, were inventing tricks or being the first to do tricks nearly on a weekly basis. Am I wrong?
You're right. I mean, it's definitely some progression happening on the daily.
Yeah, definitely.
It was more on the daily, man. It was like every session. Well, whatever, but it's just not trying to be arrogant about it, but just more or less each session was like see what we could come up with every time we'd skate, pretty much. That'd be the mission.
Yeah, you know what? If you look at some of that old footage, it was rad. It's like I had like a sticker paper, and I would write a trick list and I would stick it on my board, and I would just every time I do a trick, I just cross it off.
On the underneath side?
Yeah, on the underneath. So if you look at the old footage, and that's what it was all about. It was about doing tricks like during the day, going home, and thinking of all the other tricks that you would do the next day.
It's one of those just all the stars aligned for this perfect time period to like be motivated to really experiment with all this new stuff.
Yeah, skateboarding was kind of evolving. Like I said, street skating was kind of really coming in too. So it kind of left a kind of almost like a sub-genre of kind of turning a lot of these street tricks into ramp tricks kind of came into play, and that was kind of something that intrigued us quite a bit.
We did a
little bit of both.
The mini ramp became the incubator for all that.
Yeah, for sure.
It used to be the streets, the mini ramp, then the vert ramp. Now it goes from vert ramp to and elsewhere for me. I used to start at the vert ramp now, but it used to go streets, mini ramp, vert ramp for me. The process. But the mini ramp would validate the possibility of the trick being doable on tranny.
Right.
Anyways, that was kind of the ladder system for us.
And how, like, I looked at you as you were already established, and I saw videos with you at that point in time of you skating vert, and you came out of nowhere and excelled real fast. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think my acceleration was in huge part due to McGill's opening, like I said, and having access to, the dopest skaters, and just already kind of having that mindset of wanting to elevate the sport and kind of just being progressive at it. That was the place to do it. Whatever ideas that you had, somebody at the park was doing something that helped you fuel that idea and help you, be inspired, motivated to kind of really make it a reality. You had to step up back in those days, because if you didn't, someone else was on your shit.
Yeah. It's kind of like a loved park at the time. For that, where everybody goes and tries to push the limits, right?
I'd never heard that analogy, but totally. That makes sense. It was kind of like our love park.
Yeah, the park wasn't that great per se, but it was such an important place in skateboard history, because if McGill's didn't exist, I don't know what would have anchored any, that was like the anchor for a while for the skate community.
It's what everything evolved in, all the companies that birthed out of North County kind of, you could tie them into that with you guys starting all the DC drawers, all that stuff. Everybody kind of had.
It's all been spawned within a mile of where we're sitting right now, even, Here we are 25 years later.
Tripping, talking about the same
sipping on a brew, talking about the same stuff.
Did you guys feel like vert or park skaters who had to learn how to skate street at some point, that you were transitioning into that, or was it completely sort of parallel the whole time?
Never thought about like that. Like for me, it was like we just going street skating today. That was just part of the skate regimen. Yeah. Like bring your pads and leave them in the car, because we might end up at the vert ramp in the evening time, but we're gonna go skate some blocks or whatever curbs at this one spot. Or the cultures, vert skating and street skating, started to peel apart through the 90s. And I think it was because of lack of facilities that had that kind of hub or culture there that was getting influenced both ways. It's different now, obviously. Times have changed, but
times have changed, and I think that is the one thing about our era that was really dope, is that we didn't really identify as street skaters versus vert skaters. we were skateboarders. We were so excited about skateboarding and the possibilities on a skateboard that put a ramp in front of us. We're going to try to figure out what the possibilities are in there. Put a ledge or a rail or whatever. We're going to figure out the possibilities there, and so that's one thing that I thought was the best about our era growing up, and that's one thing that I'm actually really excited about, all the new parks and stuff popping up, because I think that really kind of changes and diversifies the mentality of skateboarders, to be able to kind of learn a little bit on everything, explore the possibilities that is skateboarding,
Have you guys ever had your hand in park design at all? Because I think out of everyone, you two would be some of the worst park designers. You would build the gnarliest shit, and you would build the fucking tightest trannies on everything, because I know you love, like Hensley's quarter pipe in his garage. Like that shit just kill. I can do 2 things on the thing. It
Right.
fucking is too tight, too gnarly, and you would build some monstrous shit, which would just fucking kill me.
Necessarily, I build a little bit of everything, to be honest.
Yeah,
and the monster shit's fun, but it's not like you want to do that every day. You know, it's like it's good in moderation.
I'm worried that you would go insane and you would draw some super tight, funky
Mega
corners.
loop.
I mean, you've seen all the shit I've designed. I mean, everything I've, most of the platforms I've skated on for the last decade or so have been stuff that I've come up. I mean, all of the weird vert ramp obstacles and weird bends and corners and shit that,
Do you feel limited, like I can't build enough stuff that I want to build?
I can't build enough stuff, and when I do get an opportunity, it's, I don't know, like it's so much
so many
pressure to
variables.
nail it,
Yeah.
to make it work that time. Like I can't make a mistake. The pressure I carry knowing the investment being made and like, am I out of my mind, or is this right, or am I I don't know what to do right now, but I want to do what I want to do on my skateboard, so hopefully this works.
Has there ever
I don't know
been
what
one
else
that
to
you
do.
built that you got there and you're like, this isn't fucking working at all. What am I doing?
I've had to make changes on some of the things I've built, but for the most part, I think I've gotten pretty damn lucky in my designs, dude. Like, I learned a lot accidentally,
Yeah.
But I have a lot of now good factual information to support things. I do have a good resource bank of information to build stuff now. Like, I can definitely say that without that knowledge, there's no way you can it's such a big part of being able to think about progressing on that level is you have to know you would have to understand what to build, and every little detail of that is so intricate in the success of what you're trying to do.
A lot of mathematics.
Yeah, like if something's just a little bit wrong in the equation, it can make or break everything. So
But you have to be the guy in that seat because you're the one doing the stuff.
nobody else can tell me how to build or how the design should be. You know what I mean? Like that's just not something you can ask anybody, because a lot of it's experiment. Like none of this stuff's been figured out. To be honest, like the level of stuff that I'm doing lately, like I literally have, know that if I make just a mistake just enough, the result could be catastrophic, to a point where it could die.
Fuck.
Yeah. So, that's.
Cross the T's and dot the I's on that shit.
I mean, when you're going at a ramp at 55 miles an hour, I mean, God forbid that I lose control or miscalculate something, but just think of like a loop out off the lip at 55 miles an hour with that kind of fucking speed and velocity. It'd just be like,
Yeah. You wouldn't be able to find ground anymore, you know what I mean?
I mean, you just get, catapulted and just, I mean.
Well, what's going, like even the last video of you breaking the world record last week, what's going through your head when you're like swimming through the sky?
You're just trying to find any fucking real estate to put your body on, like any brown real estate you can find at that point. Looking for skate light.
You know what the other crazy factor that, I mean, he's never even discussed about that, because I was fortunate enough to go out there and check him out doing that stuff, but the other factor too is, I mean, there's a lot of gnats around that area, and when you're flying as fast as he's going, dude, if you get one of those in your eye,
I've had it happen.
Distract the shit out of you.
Fuck yeah, I've had one eye open, hitting that quarter pipe several times, because in the evening time, all that shit comes out, and it's just all like at that level right above.
My God, that's not even the factor we even thought
like,
of.
who would
Dude.
think of
It's
that?
like a BB. Like if you've ever put your hand out while you're driving, you feel like a bug. Like imagine that going in your eye. That's all I kept on thinking about. Just kind of doing my little kick turns on the ramp. Like
We know why Bob wears the goggles. I get that now.
Dude, my setup in Hawaii gets because there's so much humidity and the grass all around the rolling. They get these fucking gnat swarm balls that are like literally like the big as this room, and they're just so thick of gnats that you like if you step into it, dude, you're fucking just wasted with these things. Like there's no way you can even operate. But dude, the swarm just hangs out where the rolling comes down, right where they drop in. They just hang like the gnat ball just hangs right there. So literally, in a certain time of day, it gets even worse. But like, dude, it's so bad some days I can't skate. Like I have to be like, fuck, it's too natted out. There's no skate today. There's no skating at all.
It's too natted out. That is amazing.
Dude, I mean,
Too natted out.
And you know how many runs it, because I'm in the middle of trying to film something or whatever, and it's getting to that point in the day and they're starting to swarm, and I'll fucking have to like drop in, I'll drop in shut with my eyes shut. And hold my fucking eyes shut for like 3 seconds and then open it and hope that I've passed the ball. And then I'm like, okay, there we go.
It seemed like at the end of Waiting for Lightning, you had a couple of those tricks in, and then that sort of seemed like it was going to be the teaser for like a Plan B part. and then the plan B part didn't happen. Like what?
Oh, I have a part of. I've been sitting on a video part, but this is like, you know, I don't know how many more of these I have in me.
Yeah.
And the Plan B video was rushed out for other reasons that, you know, they wanted to put it out before the end of the year because Tori really wanted to win Skater of the Year, and he spent a lot of time working on that, and that was his kind of like, dude, we have to. I think I got this, and we all supported that, and it kind of forced us to move on the video sooner than I wanted it to be done because I needed a little bit more time to. And again, we go back to the platform I have to work with. So there's, my ramp in Hawaii. It's not like you can just fly out there and all of a sudden, like if I don't go out there for a month or two, there's so much maintenance that needs to be done to get the thing even skatable, let alone bringing the crew of guys out there to shoot it all and deal with all that and getting everybody set up and taken care of. And, it's a process. So it's not as easy as people think for me to go out there and just film a video part.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to sit on a bunch of stuff that you've put a lot of time into. So, I've been very patient about what I'm trying to do here, which is not just put something out for the sake of it. This video part I put out, I want to put it out and know that if I don't put another one out, that I don't feel like I need to. I'm not in a position with my career where I feel like I have to do any of this. I do it because I want to do it. If I don't want to do it, it's it's like I've been doing this my whole life. So like it's not a big deal for me to be like, oh, he doesn't have his video part, like, oh, he's falling off. Like, so what? I fell off. And whatever.
No, but this is the thing.
I'll drop my video part when I want.
Said
then
no
you
one
can ban
ever.
one.
Danny Way fell off. Said no one ever.
Turn up. God, I'm like a sweaty mess.
Did he lure you in with these?
No. It's like reaching, like, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be